What's happening in Wales has pushed a lot of people over the edge. The government is using taxpayer money to cut energy bills for mosques, providing them with additional financial support at a time when countless ordinary people can't even afford to heat their own homes. And yes, people are angry, very angry, because they can see exactly what's happening. Certain institutions are being prioritized while the public is left to struggle. We'll dive into this story in today's video, but before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Right now, only 12% of viewers are subscribed, so join the community and help us grow. This isn't complicated. When a government decides that places of worship get extra subsidies while thousands of Welsh and English households are freezing through the winter, people are going to feel ignored, sidelined, and completely disrespected. The anger isn't manufactured, it's not irrational. It's a direct response to a policy that seems to favor specific groups while leaving the majority to fend for themselves. And the Welsh government wonders why trust is collapsing. They keep claiming they're helping communities, yet the communities who've paid taxes all their lives, pensioners, working families, vulnerable residents, are the ones getting nothing. They're the ones cutting back on food just to keep the heating on for a few hours. Meanwhile, public money is being handed out to mosques to ease their energy costs. How is anyone supposed to see that as fair? People are tired of being told there's no money while watching targeted schemes funnel support toward institutions that already receive various forms of assistance. They're tired of being told to tighten their belts while their own government refuses to apply the same standards evenly across the board. This isn't equality, it's not shared sacrifice, it's blatant political favoritism. And the reality is simple: when public money is involved, the public expects transparency, fairness, and equal treatment. What they're getting instead is a devolved government that seems more interested in appeasing select groups than addressing the basic needs of everyone else. This situation is a perfect example of why people feel alienated from their own institutions. When the average person can barely afford to keep warm, yet watches mosques receive additional support with their bills, of course they're going to question what's going on. Of course they're going to demand answers, and they're absolutely right to. Have a watch of what was said.
The community energy organisation Teg has been awarded just over £330,000 to deliver the Gwydd Bangla Community Energy Project. This project aims to install approximately 200 kilowatts of solar PV generation and 300 kilowatts of kilowatt hours of battery storage across a range of community mosques.
And there you have it. While ordinary people across Wales and England are struggling just to stay warm, the government is handing out extra support to mosques and acting surprised when the public is furious. This isn't complicated. When taxpayer money is used to prioritize specific groups instead of helping everyone equally, trust collapses. People feel ignored, taken for granted, and pushed aside. If the government wants respect, it has to start respecting the people who actually fund these decisions. Until then, the anger you're hearing is completely justified. Nigel Farage and Zia Yusuf have sharply criticised the Labour government after Reform UK was excluded from putting forward names for new appointments to the House of Lords. Their anger followed Sir Keir Starmer's move to nominate 25 new peers, a list largely made up of Labour figures, which strengthens the party's influence in the upper house. Among the new nominees were Sir Keir's former communications chief Matthew Doyle and Rachel Reeves' chief of staff Katie Martin, choices that immediately drew accusations of political favouritism and cronyism. Leaders of the other major parties were also allowed to recommend new peers. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch nominated 2 people, while Liberal Democrat leader Sir Ed Davey put forward 5. Reform UK, however, received no opportunity to participate, prompting an angry response from Farage. Posting on X, Farage said he had written to Starmer in the summer requesting that Reform be given representation in the Lords, but he didn't give me the courtesy of a response, despite Reform's strong performance in the May local elections, where the party won 677 council seats. He said the snub only strengthened his determination to smash the political establishment. Reform's head of policy, Zahir Yusuf, was equally scathing, claiming the Lords had been permanently debased by the appointments. He noted that Reform, currently leading national polls, received 0 peers, while the Liberal Democrats gained more places. He described the chamber as filled with out-of-touch failures and argued that excluding Reform was an attempt to undermine the party's commanding poll lead. He highlighted that Reform had been ahead in 150 polls in a row and called the situation a sign of an establishment clinging to its remaining power. At present, Reform has just one member in the House of Lords, Lord Offord of Garvell, who defected from the Conservatives. He is expected to resign his seat to run as a Reform candidate in Scotland's 2026 Holyrood election. Recent polling from YouGov continues to show Reform in the lead at 27%, ahead of Labour on 19% and the Conservatives on 18%. Technically, the Prime Minister has full discretion over Lords' appointments and is not required to allocate peerages to opposition parties. Traditionally, however, Prime Ministers invite opposition leaders to propose names, something Starmer did not extend to Reform UK, nor to other smaller parties like the Greens. In Farage's earlier letter to Starmer, he warned that excluding Reform created a democratic disparity at the heart of the Lords. Downing Street responded by saying that appointments follow long-standing conventions and the guidance of the House of Lords Appointments Commission, adding that while parties can offer input, the final decision rests with the Prime Minister. Starmer's extensive list of new peers has also drawn criticism because he previously pledged to abolish the House of Lords and replace it with an elected chamber. MPs are pressing West Midlands Police for clearer explanations about why Maccabi Tel Aviv supporters were banned from last month's Europa League match at Aston Villa. The decision made by the local safety advisory group, SAG, based on police advice, prevented all away fans from attending on safety grounds. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer was among those who called for the ruling to be reconsidered. The Home Affairs Committee examined the issue on December 1st, but has now written to West Midlands Police, the SAG, and the UK Football Policing Unit, UKFPU, to request more details about how the decision was reached. Committee Chair Karen Bradley has asked Chief Constable Craig Guilford to clarify comments made by Assistant Chief Constable Mike O'Hara. A.C.C. O'Hara had told MPs that members of the Jewish community had informed police they did not want Maccabi fans present at the match. Afterward, the force issued a statement saying that the officer did not intend to suggest that Jewish community representatives had directly supported excluding Maccabi supporters. In her letter, Bradley asked the Chief Constable to explain why such comments were made, given that they are now understood to be incorrect. She stressed that giving misleading information to Parliament, whether deliberate or not, is a serious matter and requested that the record be corrected and the error explained. A spokesman for the force confirmed that they had received the letter and would respond. Bradley also contacted the SAG, requesting the minutes from all 3 of its meetings about the fixture. She further asked whether the group had taken into account a report by Lord Mann, the government's anti-Semitism advisor, regarding disorder at the previous year's Ajax vs. Maccabi match. The UKFPU was asked to provide records of any discussions it had with Lord Mann, why his report was not shared with West Midlands Police, and details of its communications with both Maccabi and the Israeli authorities. The committee also asked whether the UKFPU had been informed that Maccabi Ultras did not intend to attend the game. A Dutch police report later showed that authorities in Amsterdam believed Maccabi fans had been targeted and attacked rather than acting as aggressors. In contrast, West Midlands Police's risk assessment before the Aston Villa match claimed that large numbers of Maccabi supporters were involved in demonstrations and confrontations during the Amsterdam incidents. The force went further, saying that as many as 600 Israeli fans had taken part in a range of targeted hate-motivated crimes. These claims underpin the police recommendation to the Birmingham City Council SAGJA to ban all Maccabi supporters from Villa Park. However, arrest data from the Amsterdam clashes indicated that only 10 of the 59 people arrested were Israeli nationals, while 49 were Dutch citizens. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you have not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.